Alright, we finished the problem statement and the human algorithm, and now we're ready to create the flowchart. So the first one we have is the fee. So I'll go ahead and create an assignment. And the fee equals $5. Okay, so the next thing we have is the rest of this has to be done inside the loop. So we're going to go ahead and create our loop structure, and that's going to be a while loop. And what are we going to use to keep this going? And that is, we're going to be using this input, another customer. So there's two things we have to do. We have to figure out how we're going to get into the loop and how we're going to stay. We're going to stay with this input. So I'm going to have to copy another customer, and then I'm going to initialize that loop by making sure that yes is inside that. So now we have yes inside another customer. And then the condition we're going to be using in order to enter is another customer equals yes. So what we use to initialize and what we use to get into the loop is going to be identical. So that's how we're going to get in. The next thing is how we're going to get out, and we're going to be using that same another customer. So we're going to be using an input statement for that. And that is in a place in memory called another customer. I'm going to ask them, is there another customer, question mark, close quote, and well, yes, slash no, and then close the quote. So we're going to ask them, and they're going to be typing in yes or no. Yes means they go around in front of the loop. No means the loop stops. Alright, the last thing we want to do is we need to be able to know we're outside the loop. So we're going to put an output statement, and we're going to say done looping. Okay, and we use that just for testing. Alright, now we'll go ahead and test our flowchart. If I press the play button, it comes up and asks us, is there another customer, which means we're at this point, which means we've successfully gotten into the loop. I'll say yes, and press OK. It asks me again, so that shows I stayed in the loop, and then I'll say no, and done looping shows up, which means I'm now outside the loop. Alright, so now we're ready to go on to the next step. Okay, next thing we're going to do is take in our two inputs. So I have an input for num dogs, and that's going to be an input. Num dogs. How many dogs? Question mark. Then I'm going to put another input in. And that's going to be num hours. And I'm going to ask how many hours. Okay, so we have our two inputs. Now I'm also going to go ahead and put my counter in, and that is client count equals client count plus 1. So I'll copy client count, and counters are normally put at the very top, so I'm going to put that above everything else. Client count equals client count plus 1. And then I'm going to have to do the math for the owner charge. Okay, so the owner charge is equal to this calculation. Okay, notice how I'm copying and pasting. This ensures we have no errors. Now, how am I going to know if this works or not? Well, I'm going to go ahead and put an output here. And I'm going to say the number of clients. And then I'm going to join that with client count. Should copy and paste it, but I'm rushing. And then underneath that, I'm going to have an assignment, an output. That says the charge for the client is $, and then I'm going to join that with the owner charge. Okay, well, now I can go ahead and see if this works. We always want to test and go. So let's, okay, I have 10 dogs, 10 hours. And is there another customer? We should have put that at the bottom. Okay, it says the number of clients is 1. That's good. It says the number of the charge for client is 500, and 5 times 10 times 10 times 5 is 500, so it works good. Okay, now I'm going to say that there's 1 dog for 1 hour. I'm going to say no to this. And now I have 2 clients. Now my counter is working. It's $5, so I know that's working. Next thing should be done looping. And sure enough, we have done looping, so we know that that works too. Alright, we have one more thing we want to put into the loop. First thing we want to do is move this another customer down to the bottom. That always should be the last thing we do. And then I'm going to put another assignment in. Okay, and that one is going to be fee accum. So the fee accum equals fee accum plus client owner charge. Okay, and then I'll do my final output here. And that will be the amount of money collected during the day is, and then $, and then we'll join that with fee accum. Okay, now we'll go ahead and test this and see if it works. I have 10 dogs, 10 hours, 1 client, $500, and I've collected $500. That's good. And then I'll say yes. See, that's why we put the question at the bottom. Now 1 dog, 1 hour, 2 clients, $5, and 505. So we know this is all working correctly. And then I'll say no. And done looping. Now, we could fix this and move the output underneath here. But we want to code it this way just so that we can see, so we can test and go just like we did here. So this is a good final flowchart. Remember, the flowchart's for you, not for your client. And this right here is perfect for us.